Welcome to Star Life TV. In this video, we will delve into the symbolism of the Louvre Heist and its potential consequences for the world. On October 19, 2025, a theft occurred at the world's most famous museum, the Louvre, in Paris. Four unidentified individuals broke into the Galerie and stole a collection of jewels, with the total damage estimated in the hundreds of millions of euros. However, the primary value of the stolen items was historical and cultural. On the surface, the heist seems to be solely the result of the criminals' actions and a failure of security. Yet, what happened at the museum is laden with a certain symbolism. Considering a number of factors, the theft of the Louvre's treasures could be seen as an omen of major world events. According to the official report, on the morning of October 19, just half an hour after opening, the four perpetrators entered the Louvre through a window facing the Seine, where renovation work was underway. They used a truck, a construction lift, and two angle grinders to gain access. The criminals were disguised as construction workers, wearing appropriate uniforms and yellow reflective vests. Once inside the Apollo Gallery, the thieves smashed two display cases, seized the artifacts, and fled the scene on scooters. The alarm was triggered both when the window was breached and when the display cases were broken into. It is known that at the time, at least 5 museum guards were in or near the Apollo Gallery. At least one person was present in the hall during the smash and grab and recorded the event on their phone. According to the French Interior Minister, Laurent Nunez, the crime was committed by an experienced team that had clearly cased the location and acted very swiftly to preserve evidence and allow investigators and forensics experts to do their work. The Louvre was closed for the entire day, with all visitors evacuated. The police began reviewing CCTV footage. After 48 hours, the identities of the robbers remain unknown. In total, 9 jewelry pieces were stolen from the Louvre on October 19, 2025. One of them, the crown of Empress Eugenie, was soon found on a street near the museum. It was broken. The symbolism begins with the date of the incident. The date, October 19, contains the disaster code 911. Typically, its use indicates plans by the elites to orchestrate a large-scale event associated with mass casualties. The time of the incident, 9:30 a.m., alludes to the number of the beast, as a 9 is an inverted 6. The perpetrators stole exactly 9 items, and the heist itself took between 4 and 7 minutes. These numbers again contain the 911 disaster code. Furthermore, the collection of Napoleon III, which was the thieves' target, contained 23 items. This number holds special meaning for the Illuminati, as dividing 2 by 3 gives us 0.666. Additionally, October 19, 2025, is an Orthodox holiday, the Feast of the Apostle Thomas. The name Thomas is of Hebrew origin and means twin. According to tradition, the apostle was called Thomas due to his physical resemblance to Jesus Christ. All of this carries a special symbolism. On one hand, for the Illuminati, twins refer to the pillars Jachin and Boaz, representing the balance of opposing forces. In this context, one is reminded of the events of September 11, 2001. Back then, the chosen targets were precisely the Twin Towers, whose destruction marked the beginning of the collapse of the existing world order and a shift in the balance of power. On the other hand, the choice of the Feast of Thomas, who resembled Jesus, could hint at the imminent arrival and reign of the Antichrist. The fact that the robbers' target was specifically the Apollo Gallery is also symbolic. According to mythology, Apollo was the god of light, the patron of arts, music, and poetry. However, he also has a darker aspect. In ancient myths, Apollo sometimes appears as a destroyer god, whose arrows could bring plague, epidemics, and death to multitudes. Moreover, in early Christianity, he was interpreted as a demon who fell from heaven, seemingly implying he was Lucifer. Thus, we see that the event at the Louvre is accompanied by symbolism and an abundance of systemic codes. This indicates that the event was planned at the highest level and was not a coincidence. The very fact that the perpetrators managed to infiltrate the museum, bypass security, and then escape without being apprehended by the police also raises questions. The main question, however, concerns the motives behind the Louvre heist and its potential consequences for France and the entire world. Many Parisians are already outraged by what happened. People are calling the jewel theft a humiliation for the country and see it as a sign of societal collapse and degradation. One of the first to speak out was Senator and member of the Paris City Council, Yann Caressat. "This is a true disgrace for our country," he wrote on the social network X, mentioning that on June 16, the museum was closed due to a staff strike, where employees had warned about a shortage of personnel to ensure the Louvre's security. Why didn't the Minister of Culture heed this warning? The senator asks. The chairman of the Union of the Right for the Republic Party, Eric Ciotti, was even more blunt. He directly accused those at the head of the state. A government symbolizing the ultimate degree of decay allowed the theft of the jewels of the French crown, he stated, adding, "When the state fails to guarantee the safety of national treasures, the nation as a whole is in danger." The Louvre heist evokes clear associations with the fire at Notre Dame de Paris Cathedral in April 2019. Back then, flames damaged one of the main spiritual, historical, and architectural symbols of France and the entire Catholic world. According to the official version, the cause was an electrical fault or an unextinguished cigarette. In reality, however, it is obvious that, as with the Louvre, the event was a planned act. The Notre Dame fire symbolized the spiritual collapse of the old world. It looked like an ominous harbinger of the coming quarantine, isolation, and fear. The theft of jewelry from the Louvre is perceived as an assault on France's secular authority, history, and national identity. In this context, the fact that the crown of Empress Eugénie was found broken on the road near the museum holds particular symbolism. In this way, the complete collapse of the old world with its established laws and values was demonstrated. This, in turn, foreshadows global events on a world scale that could become a serious trial for humanity. Another symbolic moment in the story of the Louvre heist was Pavel Durov's statement regarding the incident. On his page on X, he wrote a post expressing his desire to buy the stolen jewels. "I would be happy to buy the stolen jewels and hand them back to the Louvre. I mean the Louvre Abu Dhabi, of course," Durov wrote, noting that no one steals from the Louvre Abu Dhabi. According to the entrepreneur, he was not at all surprised by the robbery of the Parisian museum. This is yet another sad sign of the decline of a once great country, where the government has perfected the art of distracting people with imaginary threats instead of confronting real ones, he added. It is important to note that Pavel is currently under investigation. The French authorities accuse him of failing to provide information requested by the authorities that would help solve serious crimes. Considering Durov's comment and his relationship with France, one cannot rule out that he was the very client who commissioned the jewels. Furthermore, according to some reports, Pavel is being groomed for the role of the Antichrist. Be that as it may, the Louvre heist is not a random incident or the work of petty thieves, but a meticulously orchestrated spectacle for the masses. This event carries a profound symbolism and may be a harbinger of serious global upheavals. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to like this video.